it all right here starting at noon on Channel 5.
We are going to give you a sneak preview of the bridal fashion show that's coming up this weekend, this Sunday at the Marriott. And with us today are Dina Fruman from the March of Dimes and Lynn Moros from Ann's of downtown. And tell us about what's coming up. I love weddings, and anybody who loves weddings can't miss this event Sunday.
Well, we're really excited. We've got 15 or so local merchants who are wedding related, getting together to present the bridal fashion show. It's an annual event. This year it's at the Marriott, and it's a not to be missed event for anybody who's considering getting married, planning a wedding for next year, maybe the year after that. It's going to be just a super extravagant fashion show unlike any others that anybody's ever been to. Very elaborate.
Now, weddings are really complicated to plan. There are so many things that you have to decide. So an event like this will have a lot of people to help you make those decisions.
It should help you get started, inspire you to get started with your wedding plans. Even if you anticipate an engagement ring this Christmas, you should be at this show this weekend and get a head start on all the other spring brides.
Well, what is new in fashion, bridal fashion wear this year? I know last year I think it was black and white for weddings, which was really kind of an interesting twist. But what are we seeing coming up this year?
Well, this year, and even going into the 90s, the new decade that's around the corner, we'll see a slimmer line in a wedding gown, perhaps a little less dress, although it can be just as extravagant and bedazzling as anything with a full skirt. Maybe a simpler gown, but with all the femininity that you would expect in a wedding gown.
Now, we do have some that we would like to show you, so let's take a look and see what we have here. Maybe you can help us out. What are we seeing here?
What you have, we have a happy couple here. Christine is modeling. This is the state of the art with wedding fashions. She has on a sheath designed by Demetrios for Alyssa, and it's what I was describing to you, the slimmer line in a wedding gown. You'll see it features a straight skirt with a full peplum that can hide any figure flaws that you might have that might scare you away from a sheath.
And the shorter veil, the smaller.
She's just wearing a shorter veiling on that headpiece, which really just helps you to enjoy yourself more than anything. It doesn't encumber you at the reception, and of course, people will see you up close at the reception. They see you from a distance in the church.
Now, are you calling this a slimmer line, although the gown doesn't billow out like you would think that some wedding gowns do? It's not that simple. It does have some ruffles on it. It still gives the...
It's still definitely a wedding gown, and it has a cathedral-length train attached to it, but this is something that's detachable, so you can enjoy yourself at the reception. And now you can see Angelo, and he's wearing the Pierre Cardin black shadow weave tuxedo, and you can see it's black with a very subtle stripe to the cutaway jacket, and I'm told by the people at Ginga's Formal Wear that this black is appropriate daytime as well as into evening, which is something I had not expected.
So you don't have to worry about the hour that you're going to be married.
Well,
take that into consideration. It can go.
So they'll recommend it for afternoon on into the evening.
Now, Dina, when you plan to go to Sunday's event, what's the cost? How much is it going to be for people?
Okay, we're asking for a $2 donation.
And that goes to the March of Dimes.
Right, and people will have an opportunity to sample wedding cake.
Well, we have, as you said, we have 15 merchants that are involved with the show, and you'll see everything from videographers to wedding cakes to Mr. Balloon. It should be an exciting time and really inspire you to get started with your wedding plans.
So it can help you with decorations for your reception and just
music,
give you all kinds of things that you need to worry about that you may not know about.
Right, all the details.
These 15 merchants have planned for months for this show, and they'll put that same energy into helping you plan your wedding, and I think that's the important thing to get across.
So when your big day comes, they won't just bring you your wedding cake and that's it and be off.
They'll stand behind everything they do. Yes, ma'am.
What about expenses of a wedding? What kinds of, how much should we budget for a wedding dress, for example, these days?
I think the average price across the country is around $600. Of course, there's things that are much more affordable, and then they go on into the more extravagant
Which would be what?
Well, I think you know, Bob Mackey is designing wedding gowns now, and his things can go up as high as $25,000, which border on the, well, beautiful but ridiculous maybe for myself. But I think you can find something in your price range, and we'll certainly, with crotchets and ands involved in the show, you'll see a wedding gown that should suit you. I believe so.
I'd like to add, on behalf of the March of Dimes, some people may be wondering why the March of Dimes is involved in a wedding fashion show. And the reason the March of Dimes is involved is as people are planning their lives together, they'll be thinking about the future, and usually the future holds having some children. And there's no time too early to begin to planning for proper prenatal care and learning about how to have a healthy family, healthy mothers and healthy babies.
What better way than to do it with a fashion show, bridal fashion show. Thank you both very much for being with us today, and don't miss it. That's going on Sunday at the Marriott. We'll be back with more Midday right after this.